Greetings and welcome to another episode of Trippy Food. Today we're going to be trying something that some people might find a little bit scary. Not me, but some people, and that's okay. Today we're going to be trying jelly pork tongues. Now, I know that sounds scary. I know that you're thinking jelly like peanut butter and jelly, and you're thinking of a pork tongue, just it's pork tongue. This is a little bit different. So what I'm thinking this is more like a very specialized head cheese. So the jelly or the gelatin that holds it together is the collagen that you get when you cook a pig's head. So like to make head cheese. So for instance, you take a pig's head, cut it in half, take out the brain, take out the eye so it doesn't spoil the meat. Then you cook that for a long period of time. You submerge it in the water, you cook that for a very long time, add spices, whatever other flavors you want. When it comes out, the meat is falling off the bone. You take that meat, you chop it up, you put it in a tin or a bread pan kind of thing. You fill that up with the little pieces of meat, and then you pour the broth on top of it. And that broth contains the collagen from the skin and the bones from the pig. You put that in the refrigerator, you let that set, and then it turns into that gelatin that everyone's familiar with. So I believe that that's the case here. And again, it's just specialized because they're using pork tongues as opposed to the whole pig's head. So that's what I'm thinking it is. We'll see if that's different. If there's some other kind of jelly, if it's like a sweet jelly. I'm looking at the ingredients here. The first ingredient is pork tongue. That's obvious just looking at it. Let's see what else. Cured with water, salt, sodium lactate, sodium diacetate, sodium phosphate, dextrose, carrageenan, hydrolyzed soy protein, sodium erythrobate, and sodium nitrate. That's it. Gelatin. So gelatin is typically extracted from this. It doesn't necessarily have to be animal-based. There are plant-based gelatins that can be used as well. But like for instance, General Foods is famous for Jell-O. They've been making it for decades, probably over maybe a century or even more. They've been making it for a long time. And typically, it's made by boiling down, cow carcasses. That's how they've typically made it. So this might be that same gelatin. It might be a different source of gelatin. I don't really know. They're not specific. And spices, contains soy. So we're just going to give this a shot. This is made for Bandy Foods in Van Nuys, California. I don't know if it's a specialty in any Middle Eastern or Eastern European country because I got these at Rafi's, which is a Middle Eastern European grocery in Glendale, California. Again, Bandy Foods is in Van Nuys, California, all close to the valley. All right, let's just go ahead and open this up and cut us off a piece of this and see what this is all about. I was looking at this outside piece here and thinking, well, that's a really interesting, thing that happens to the meat. But honestly, I think it's just like a plastic sleeve that kind of holds the meat together. My guess is probably this was put in sort of like the plastic that bologna comes in, and maybe put in that so that it forms and then allowed to chill like that. I guess we can take that off. Now, some people when they get meat like this, they just figure, well, it's like regular meat, let me just heat this up. The thing about when you heat up anything that has gelatin or collagen in it, when you heat that up, that collagen or that gelatin melts. The idea is when you're making head cheese and you take that broth and you put the pan in the refrigerator, that's what allows that to set. So it's the cold that actually allows that to set. If you've ever made a ham, like for Easter, and afterwards you put the ham in the refrigerator, you're gonna have it the next day. You take it out and you can see the gelatin growing on that ham. That is the collagen from the bones and the skin of the pig. So what happens is if you heat this up, let's say you decide, I'm going to fry this and see what happens. You heat it up on the stove. That collagen just melts away. It just totally melts into like a liquid, and you're just stuck with the tongue. And that might be okay, unless you want the whole experience of having both. So this is pretty sturdy. I think we have some time to mess around. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this off. So this is cool. You hold it up to the light and you can see through it. All right, let's give this a taste. It has the texture of a salami, but the pig tongues are solid. It's not like, you know, ground up and formed. It's pretty solid chunks of it. Now, full disclosure, I've had pork tongue before. Basically, I've had it in a lechon, so it's basically a slow roasted whole pig. And when they roasted it, it had the head on it and still had the tongue in it. And I ate the tongue out of the roasted pig, and it was delicious. So I know what that flavor is. This is a little bit different because it has those spices. The texture is different because of the gelatin that's on it. I don't remember how much. They didn't really mention how much salt is in there. There's some saltiness to it. I mean, honestly, if somebody gave this to you, it didn't tell you it was pork tongue, and you ate it, you would probably identify that as pork. The texture is much. It's very dense. I don't know if you ate if pig tongue was warm, if it would have a different texture and everything. The texture is very different. Now, what would I do with this? If I cut this as like if I use it like a lunch meat, like head cheese, I wouldn't do too much with it. If I was going to make a sandwich, I might add maybe a slice of provolone. I would probably put it on, a sturdy bread. You don't want a bread that's going to like fall apart or just really not hold, because this is pretty sturdy. I would probably put it on a light bread and maybe some mustard. Some spicy mustard might be really nice, but even just a plain yellow mustard, I wouldn't put much more on it than that. So let's do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off a couple of thin pieces. That should be enough. And I have a whole wheat tortilla. You could use lavash if you want. I would not use like a wheat or corn tortilla. Would not use that. But if you had a whole wheat tortilla, that would work. And if you have lavash, that would work even better. Lavash is like a Middle Eastern flatbread, but it's not leavened, but it's not firm like matzah or anything like that. Let's put a little bit of just some yellow mustard on that and try that. And again, the name jelly pork tongues can be scary, but there's nothing scary about this. All right, here we go. A little unwieldy. The only thing, maybe there's a saltiness of it, which means you probably can't eat a lot of that. That, to me, I think would be a good thing on a charcuterie board. That's pretty good. Now again, head cheese isn't everybody's cup of tea, so I understand if you're a little bit hesitant about it. If you've had head cheese and you like it, you will love this. This is really good. It's going to get a thumbs up for me. So I'm not sure where you would get it. Like I said, try a Middle Eastern or Eastern European grocery. They will probably have this. It's made in California, so maybe it's just only out here. I don't know. I have a feeling it's a traditional dish. And so you could probably find a different brand, but the same thing. But you should definitely get out and try that. But just remember that it's crazy out there. So please be careful. Take care of yourselves, take care of others, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for checking out Trippy Food. If you enjoyed watching that video half as much as I did making it, well then I enjoyed it twice as much as you did. And if that's the case, you'll probably like this video right here. And if not, check out this video right here. That one's a little bit different. Either way, leave a comment down below. And be sure to subscribe by clicking on the Trippy Food icon right here. Glad you could make it, and we hope to see you again soon.